How do we feel about this? Long time coming, isn't it? Talking about it, and now we're
It
here.
has been a long time coming. Looking forward to this.
And this is the Three Dads and a Grassroots Club, the podcast, with me, Jed.
And me, Kev.
And me, Rob.
There we go. That's
Here
the
we
three
go.
of us. So, the three of us set up Lee Park Tigers about 3 years ago now.
3 years.
It's been a bit of a journey. And how are we feeling about it? How are we feeling about being here doing this?
Positive. I think it's been 3 years of growth, positive growth. Some difficult times. You know, a lot of difficulties put in your way. Hopefully, doing this podcast is going to shed a bit of light on those difficulties, those troubles, and how hard it can be to set something like this up for essentially just for kids to play football. You know,
I think it's fair to say that over the last 3 years we've all aged quite considerably because the stress is
Lydia keeps going on about the bald patch on the top of my head. So,
and I think the grey in my beard has definitely got worse. So so Lee Park Tigers FC, big shout out to them, all them boys and girls. Big game tomorrow, Walsall Wasps.
big game. First competitive season for our under 12s now, and going into the final. What is it? 5-6 games?
Yeah,
4
it's
games?
5 games. Yeah,
5 games.
Yeah,
5 games left.
We played 12, have we? 12 games, I think we played. Or was it 13?
We've played 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're in a very good position now to challenge for that league title, which in our first competitive season will be incredible for a team that has only been going for 3 years as well. The sort of progression that this team has made has been meteoric. It's brilliant.
Well, you think when we took them all on, how old are they? 5, 6?
Yeah, it was under 8s, was it, when you started that first team? Rob?
Yeah. So I started with with another club when there was under 8s.
No names.
Yeah, and I think Hunter was the youngest one when he joined us. Yeah,
I think he was only 5.
Yeah, because Hunter plays up a year.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, so massive, really. It's the development that I think is the best thing about the club is the fact that we've really developed the players. We haven't gone, let's get the best player in to help the team progress. We progress within the club, which I think is really good.
Yeah,
and I think that shows, doesn't it, with the level these kids are at now. They all turn up to training.
Yeah,
all put in the effort, all put in the work rate.
They're like we've said before. Obviously now we've got a bit more of a structured training session. Jed, you're a personal trainer as well as your day job, so that certainly helps. Jed puts these kids through their paces every week, and I'm getting fitter as well with it because I'll do it alongside the kids, and it's brilliant. It's free training for me, but yeah, they turn up now. We've said it before. They turn up knowing what we expect now from them. They turn up ready to go, and we don't have any arguments from them, do we? They seem to enjoy it now. And
I think what's good from my point of view with that is all the kids turn up to training.
Yeah.
Unless they're ill or there's they're around on holiday, those kids will turn up, all 14 of them every week.
Yeah.
Be there ready for training, and they know what's coming. They know the structure of the training. They know exactly what they're going to do, and they're there. They're ready. They understand the importance of being at training. And actually, like I said, Kev, they really enjoy it, don't they?
Yeah,
they're all together. It's just
it's brilliant.
Like the bonds and the love between all of them is, I think, it's brilliant to see. And they've really all come together, especially this year in the first competitive season. I just think they've upped their games, upped their levels, and the results have basically shown for themselves, and I'm really proud of the fact that this is where they're at right now. Yeah,
definitely. I think this season we've seen a massive change in their attitudes towards training. I think one of the parents said to us in pre-season that you can really tell a difference with them now because we all turn up. We want to have a laugh with these kids as well. We want it to be enjoyable. We want to have fun and make it memorable for them.
Yeah, definitely.
And we certainly do that. You know, we can all have a laugh. The kids have a laugh with each other. But then when we say, right, it's time to work, they turn on straight away. No messing, and that's great to see now. Whereas in years gone by, might not quite have been as easy as that to get their attention and their focus. And I think that comes with age, because doing the under-8s as well now, like myself and Rob and Ed as well, we see a massive difference from training on Thursday with the under-12s and the way that we can say, right, switch on, time to go now, time to work, and they are, boom, they're on it. You try and do that with the under-8s, and they're off singing and dancing and doing their own little thing, and I mean, it's great. It's great. Obviously, that is the difference now between competitive football and, you know, the mini soccer and the non-competitiveness. It's just great to start that journey again with the under-8s and have them falling in love with the game, just like we did, just like the under-12s have done, and, you know, to start that progression again from scratch. But
I don't think we look at ourselves as not a football club, do we? We look at ourselves as a football family, and we all
100%
all help each other out. And, you know, we only had the one team initially. Obviously, we've now got the under-8s. So, like you say, Kev, you run with Rob and Ed, and it's another journey for this club, isn't it? And their first season, they've been amazing. You know, they've come in as a group of kids who have never played played
didn't know how to kick a ball.
And now,
we've had kids on that team who they turned up to us, and you could see from that very first training session, you know, some of them hadn't played football before. You know, the way that they were kicking the ball. I mean, don't get me wrong, we had some which were a bit more advanced as well. So it's very much a mixed ability team.
But that's the same with our under-12s.
It is.
And we pride ourselves on the fact that it is a mixed ability.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone's different in their technical levels, and like Rob's already mentioned, we work on the development and the progression of those players, rather than just taking the best of the best and going, this is us, we're the best team within the area. We pride ourselves on taking those kids in, getting into them the importance of coming to training, giving them good structured training, and you know, I think, like I say, the results have paid off, haven't they? I mean, they've listened, they've learned, and their football's come on. I mean, the under-8s especially.
It's been unreal.
Leaps and bounds in such a short space of time that it's brilliant to watch.
It's been mental how quickly they've picked up and how well they've gelled as well, because we did have sort of pockets of kids, like maybe 2 or 3 went to the same school, so they already knew each other, and then we had you know, maybe a couple that went to a different school, so they all knew each other. And now that they've come together, they've really started to gel now, and they're all, you know, joking and sort of pranking each other and messing about with each other, which, you know, in a good way, that you can tell that relationship is really starting to form now between all of them, rather than just those pockets of where they already knew each other and they all went to school with each other. So I think that's obviously helped on the pitch as well. So yeah, really happy with their progression, and I think we're ready for the next step now. So
so
hopefully we get that news that, you know, they're going to be moved up a league in the summer, hopefully.
Well, it'd be nice, wouldn't it, for the under-8s to be moved up and for the under-12s to win the league and move up. Obviously, next season, if they do move up into the B League, it's going to be a big challenge for all of them, and they're going to have to really step up that level again and find the importance of keep coming to training and working even harder than they already are. So,
and I think we've got the group of players there that want to do that. I think we've got a good solid group there that want the progression. You can tell now that they want to win. We had a little bit of a blip at the start of the season where we, you know, drew a few games, lost a few games, and from that moment to now, you can tell that the mindset has completely shifted. And I think we said at the start of the season, you know, once we see that league table, once these kids see that league table and that they've lost a game one week and then they've dropped down a couple of places, it'll start to affect them. It'll start to bother them. And I think we've certainly got a group of players on our team that are very competitive, and that does affect them. And I think because of that, that's elevated their game then. You know, they've dug the heels in, they've gone, right, we need to sort this out, we need to change this around. And massive credit to them for doing that, and they have done that. You know,
Yeah,
I think
100%.
what is it, 10
10
games?
Yeah,
unbeaten.
10 games in a row.
Not just unbeaten, 10 game winning
Wins,
streak.
yeah.
So
And I think we've scored more goals and conceded less goals than we probably ever have as
No,
well.
absolutely.
It's been unreal.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we started off the season really, really positive, didn't we? I think we won the first 2 or 3.
we won the first
Yeah.
2. We
And
won the
then-
first 2, and then I think
We lost 3 in a row. I think it was. We lost.
Yeah,
3
we
in a
did,
row.
yeah.
And then that really did knock them quite a bit, didn't it?
I think it did, and I think the problem was, and I know I'm guilty of this because after those first 2 games, I were already talking about winning the league parties and stuff. You know, I was throwing a barbecue for all the kids and the families for when we win that league, and we're going to parade the trophy around. So I think I think myself especially, and probably a lot of the kids got a bit ahead of ourselves. Thought we'd already won that league after 2 games, and then it was a massive reality check. You know, like you said, we lost 3 games then, and it was like, right, we've got work to do, and they've done it. You know, we're in a very good position now. I think we're 3rd now, aren't we?
Yeah. We're 3rd in the league. So if we defeat Walsall, we go
Top.
top.
Depending on
depending
how
on Stubberton.
get on against Widbrook tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's funny because both games are being played at Barton's Green tomorrow.
So
Are they
Stubbington
really?
are going to be down there
so
as well.
Widbrook against Stubberton is at
Oh.
Barton's Green. And
Do
us
we know
against
what time
Walsall.
they're kicking off?
10 o'clock.
Same time as
Well,
we're
we're kicking off at
half 10.
half 10. But we will be down there.
I'll be there at 10 then.
Go on, Dan.
Well,
Yeah, come on, Widbrook.
well, I have said we have to be there for 10 o'clock. So
Yeah, cool. Maybe Stubbington seeing Lee Park Tigers down there
Crumble.
is going to be a
Crumble.
bit of pressure on them. Then, yeah, they might
Let's
think
crumble.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
come on, Widbrook. Don't often say that, but come on, Widbrook. Let's beat Stubington.
Let's have it.
No, but it's been good. It's been a good first season, isn't it, with the competitive football.
Yeah, really good.
Like I say, we got to try and get these kids ready for next year if we go up, which
Yeah.
is going to be a mammoth task.
Yeah,
But
they're ready.
I
I
think
think
they're
they're ready.
ready.
Yeah.
And I think as well, we got rid of, well, I say we got rid of, we didn't get rid of, but some players obviously left this season
Yeah.
that maybe didn't have the same sort of vision as we did with regards to playing, or didn't have the same.
Yeah, I don't think their heart was fully in it
Yeah,
as much as what the other players are.
Yeah, I think that's natural in football as well, especially in any sport, in anything that kids might take on as a hobby. You know, you get to a point where you just think, I'm not enjoying this, and it might
Might be the pressure from us, though.
they might have turned up and they might have thought, this isn't the team for me. You know, we're all of the same sort of mentality. You know, we want the best out of these kids, but we want them to work as well. We need them to want it as well. And I'm not saying that those kids who we had didn't want it, but maybe they just didn't like that sort of pressured,
that competitive nature, innit?
you know.
Yeah.
And they might go to a different team and really take off. They might try a different sport, which I think that was the case in this instance. They might try a different sport and think, I love this. I'm not really a football person or whatever, but best of luck to them, and they'll always be a part of Lee Park Tigers
Once
history.
a Tiger, always a Tiger, isn't it? So
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that not saying it's an issue, but with our club, it's more about, it's not just about the football. We're all really close, even the parents, and it's like I said earlier, it's a football family, and I think for one of our players saying I want to leave is a very sort of hard decision, because they miss out on
everything.
us basically.
Yeah, and like you say, like the sort of things that we all do together outside of football.
Yeah.
The bowling trips, the church farm weekend, and the parties and all that. It's hard to then take a step away from that, knowing that I don't want to play football anymore. But I don't really want to leave that. I don't, because I like all the kids and I like the families. And that, so yes, it's a tough one.
But the kids that we've had come in as replacements, can't really knock it, though, can we?
No, definitely not.
We've had some good players coming in. Ollie is our goalkeeper.
Yeah.
First season, doing really well.
Yeah, never played for a team before, never played in goal before.
Doing fantastic, yeah. I mean, I know Ollie from sort of before he joined the team, because he is my son Elliot. It's his best mate. So I've known him for a long time. He's a great kid, is Ollie. Absolute calamity. You know, he lives in his own little world, and you just got to love him for it. Nothing phases him, you know, nothing bothers him. And to come into our team and to really settle with all the other players and us as coaches as well, and to sort of step up for what we ask of them in training. He's never once grumbled. He puts his effort in, and he's a great little shot stopper. So
he's come on loads, hasn't he? He has come on loads this
massively,
season. He might have been a bit quiet when he first started, but he's part of this team now. And I mean, if any of you that have checked our YouTube channel may well have seen Ollie's celebration from last week when he saved a goal. Almost certain goal. He gave it all the big flex. So shout out to Ollie, and he's now beginning to talk and open his mouth a lot more, and he's in it. And he's a Lee Park Tiger through and through now. So
it wasn't just his celebration from saving the goal as well. We won a penalty, didn't we, in the last minute, last kick of the ball, and we were 6-0 up. So it was like, Ollie, get up there. The team that we played, they started getting a little bit feisty. So, you know, maybe a little bit childish petting us from us guys. But we were like, right, Ollie, get up there, take this penalty. And he went up, scored the penalty, ran off to the sidelines and started doing
scored
Michael
two
Jackson,
penalties.
Michael Jackson dance.
Yeah, he got a bit excited with the first one, didn't he? And took it a bit too soon. But you know, the refs brought it back, and he slotted it home the second time, and then he went off and did his own little celebration. Bless him.
Brilliant, so, it's fantastic.
Yeah, that was a good weekend last weekend. So shout out to Ollie for that celebration, that save, and his goal. So
and long may this continue, Ollie, with that confidence and the
absolutely, mate,
and the performances. So yeah, fantastic.
So yeah, as a group, the kids are really, really good. We got some solid players in our team.
And we've also had Kenzie join as well.
Yeah, shout out to Kenzie, because
Kenzie's
two games.
Two games,
slotted straight into the team, and he's definitely part of this team now. And you can see he's building those relationships.
He's come on as a sort of striker, more attacking player. He's got great feet. We tend to do a sort of dribbling drill every week at training just to get him used to that ball, and you can see straight away the use of both feet. You know, and he's comfortable and confident on that ball. So fantastic.
Little twinkle tones is our Kenzie, isn't he? So.
Scored on his debut. Nearly scored an overhead kick.
I was going to say, did he done that at all?
Could you imagine that?
Nearly got his overhead kick on his debut. But obviously we've got Ernie as well up front, and I think Kenzie and Ernie really starting to complement each other. I think a bit more work from them two in training together, then they'll really start getting on the same page, and yeah, I think they're going to do some dangerous stuff together. So
yeah, it'll be interesting, because obviously at the moment we're playing 9v9, aren't we? We got one more season after this season at 9v9 before moving to 11s. So hopefully we keep the players that we've got, and we can move forward with them and move them into the 11s.
I hope so. And then like you said, we've got one more season of 9v9, and then next season we're going to have to start getting prepared and start getting ready for 11-a-side. It's another big change, bigger pitch, more players on there, different formations.
Bigger goals.
Yeah, how do you reckon they're going to take it though? Because obviously I think when we all started, obviously it was 5, wasn't it? And then we went to 7s, and that seemed to confuse them a little bit. And then we went from 7s to 9s, and that confused them even more. Yeah. So how do you reckon they're going to transition from the 9s to the 11s?
I think, judging on previous experiences, they've gone from, like, say, 5v5 to 7-a-side. And those first few games, they still play a 5-a-side match on a bigger pitch. So they're all sort of crowding around, you know, they don't see the space, they don't use it. Obviously, back then they were a lot younger, so now their football brains are starting to kick in, they're starting to see the space. So I'm looking forward to it. I think the crop of players that we've got, I think they'll really benefit playing on a bigger pitch, especially Zach at the back, pinging them balls about. I think Jensen as well starting to ping balls about a little bit. So I think having those players on a bigger pitch with more space to be able to send those balls down the wings, I think they're going to flourish. Looking forward to it.
For me, I think the major issue we have with sort of grassroots football is how much changes there are within the football.
Yeah.
So different size football, different size
Goals.
retreat rules,
Yeah.
no headers now. So you're not even allowed to head of the ball.
And again, in the under-8s now, we didn't have this, did we, when we started
No,
with the under-12s?
didn't have none of this.
Now they're not allowed to take a throw-in.
No, no throw-ins. So,
They've got to kick the ball in or dribble it in. I mean, I think I can speak for us all when I say even at under-12s now, we're struggling with throw-ins.
Yeah.
Like we're taking so many
Yeah.
foul throw-ins, and I think the referees are quite lenient. You get some referees that will just point blank, no, it's a foul for us.
Yeah.
Swap it over to the other team, which in the letter of the law, that's right. But you get some that are giving them a chance to sort of practice on that. But how difficult is it going to be if you've got under 12 kids now, so you've got 11, 12-year-olds, can't take a proper throw-in. The under-8s, they're not allowed to take throw-ins. They've got to kick them in. So they're a year behind then. I mean, I don't know when do throw-ins actually come in now? When will that
I
come
think
in?
it might be 7-aside. I don't know. It's
it must
really
do.
changed. Loads has changed. But it's, I just don't get. For me, I don't get their understanding how they could say do kick-ins is safer than doing a throw-in. It's for example, we've got a player in under-8s who can really kick a ball.
Yeah.
If he's doing a kick-in and he kicks it straight into a kid's face,
It's doing a lot of damage.
it's damage.
Yeah.
If he's throwing it in, it's not going to be as much. And we want our players to develop and we want them to move on.
That's right. And I don't know about it, like football in England as a whole. I don't know what other nations do, but are we at a disadvantage in England when our kids are not taking throw-ins until they're 10 years old?
Definitely.
Our kids are not heading a ball. We've got kids now in the under-12s. You know, we've got a few kids. In recent weeks, we've scored like some headed goals, haven't we? Two headed goals over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2
And,
weeks.
you know, absolute bullet headers. But we might have half a dozen on our team, if we're lucky, that can head a ball, you know, competently.
Well, yeah.
And a lot of the kids are scared of that ball.
Yeah, they
like,
won't even go
the
near
face. And you know, I'm not saying that this is a direct impact of kids not being allowed to head the ball, and I totally understand, you know, the safety behind it. But we're talking, you know, a football now. It's a lot lighter than it was in the 70s and 80s. You know, the players back then that they're now coming out saying that, you know, heading the ball has done them a lot of damage. I'm not disputing that fact, but it's a different ball you're playing with now. We're not encouraging kids to absolutely smash a ball with a head from 40 yards up. But in my opinion, they're at a disadvantage to the rest of the world that are learning how to head a ball at 8 years old. And our kids, they're not allowed to head a ball till they're 12 or 11 or whatever.
Look here
it is.
now, even a lot of our lot turn their backs.
Yeah.
You see it coming,
Yeah,
and then you
absolutely.
just turn their back, and that's it. Or they'll flick a leg up, or do you know what I mean? And it's
the pirouettes with,
it's the
with
little,
leg.
it's the
That
little,
does me.
little bits of ballet that we see in our games that we don't
Yeah.
want to try and take out.
But it's that risk of them turning around and it hit them on the back of the head. That's that when, because we're not even allowed to train them in heading the ball until they're under 12, sorry. So under 12s when we can train them in heading the ball, but we're only allowed to do it for a certain amount of time for them to sort of get the understanding of how to head a ball.
Yeah.
So it's all of that. Even for me, it's even the retreat rule that you have. You have it right up until you're under 9s. No, you go 9 aside. So when you go 9 aside, you don't have to retreat anymore. But we're not teaching the kids how to sort of play from the back or under the pressure. Where for a JPL, if you're on the Junior Premier League, they do that. There's no retreat.
So is that from the under-8s? Do they
That's
just play a
always
normal goal kick?
Or it's normal.
In the JPL leagues, do they take a throw in as well at under-8 level?
I don't know about that, but I know the retreat rule is completely gone with JPL.
So what's the difference between a JPL team and a grassroots team apart from the ability? And then does the ability really matter that much in teaching kids how to play football? You're teaching a JPL kid who's naturally gifted. If you're in a JPL team at 8 years old, you are a naturally gifted child. You're not. You've not. I don't think you've had enough training at that age to have gone from nothing to being able to play football. You know how to play football. You've got a decent touch. Your your eye-feet coordination is better than maybe a lot of kids at that age. So is it then just enhancing those kids that get that early start? Is that making them better players and understanding the game more than at grassroots level?
It's got to be, innit?
Definitely, yeah.
It's got to be. If they're learning all the things that we
should be learning,
that you should be learning, but we're not teaching our kids, then they're already at an advantage.
Exactly, yeah.
100% they're at an advantage. And obviously, like you say, their level is going to be higher, but why not just add all those bits in, the throw-ins and everything else? Because that is part of it. I mean, I don't think we've all played football. I don't think I've ever remember a time where you didn't have a throw-in or you were told you couldn't head the ball. And like you said, Kev, I get it. Because of the head injuries and everything else, granted. But surely you've got to try and introduce it at some point, maybe a bit sooner than...
I think so. I think you've got to a little bit sooner. Because like I say, I think the bottom line for me is that our kids as a nation are at a disadvantage. And we've not won a World Cup since 1966, and I can't see us winning another World Cup without having... that equal opportunity as the rest of the world on getting these kids playing football properly to the proper sort of rules until they're 12 years old.
Yeah, and I think they always try and mention, don't they, the fact that you have these different age groups and a certain amount of players, like the 5s and the 7s, to try and get more kids with touches and playing. But surely if you've got more players on the pitch at one time, the likelihood is they're going to get touches rather than being sat on a suspension. You have to just keep changing it all the time. Do you know? I don't know.
Well, from next season, they're doing 3 versus 3.
Yeah.
So it's going to be...
Don't like that.
No, nor do I. It's going to be...
No.
So what they're looking to do is have 2 pitches right next to each other, small goals.
But they're not even real pitches, are they? You can just cone them out.
It's a 5-a-side pitch split in half. So
that's it. Yeah.
You go across.
So you are... half of a 5-a-side pitch each, and they want, what do they want, Rob? 2 games played.
But no goalkeepers.
Yeah, no goalkeepers. So they
just
want
3 versus 3.
That brings me on to another topic that I want to talk about in a minute.
Yeah, so they want two games going side by side. They want a coach from each team to be reffing the game and to basically let them play, which they're saying they get more touches on the ball. Now, for me, if you've got 3 elite, I say elite, they're kids, but if you've got 3 players that can play football against 3 players that can't play football, them 3 players are not going to get a touch on the ball. It's going to be silly school lines, and it's not going to develop any kid whatsoever. We've done it where we've lost heavy when I was younger. We didn't benefit. We've done it where we've won heavy and we haven't benefited. So how is it going to make a difference now?
Yeah.
I don't think 3v3 should even be a thing. Kids should just be going to training and just learning those fundamentals.
Well, I just don't see. I can't see how. I can't see the logic of where 3v3, you're going to get more touches on a ball in half the pitch as you would 5-a-side in a full 5-a-side pitch. Because, if you break it down mathematically, you've got 3 players in half a pitch. So if you were playing on a full-size pitch, that would be 6 players. You've got 5 players in a 5-a-side team. You've got 1 less player in the full pitch there. So you've got more space and more time on a full 5-a-side pitch with a 5-a-side team rather than playing in half of that with more players, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
No, I get that.
Numerically, that's how I look at it. And like Rob said, if you've got just 1 child at that age who can play football and is at a bit of a higher standard than the other 5 players on that pitch,
they're not going to get touched.
Then nobody's getting a touch. Not the players on that kid's team or the players on the opposition, because that kid will want to do everything. And at that age, that's
exactly it, isn't it, though? Because you will get those kids will just get the ball and just take everyone on. They'll probably take on their own teammates, to be fair. They just take
Absolutely.
everyone on,
just
turn
shoot.
around and do it again.
They'll tackle their own teammates to get that ball, and then smaller goals or not, they'll be shooting from in their own half. So this whole, to me, it seems like they're putting a lot of sort of thought and pressure into thinking that these kids are going to be playing ticky-tacky football and passing the ball around in triangles. It's just not going to happen.
It's going to be
we
chaos.
all know what happens.
Absolute chaos.
When you start 7-a-side football, I think it's 7-a-side. Sorry, 7 under 7s. That's the earliest league.
Under 7s is the earliest league you start playing. Well, go into a league for football, and so that's what will be free.
So when you start at 6 years old in under 7s football, the majority of it is swarms of kids chasing the ball around, all as a little pack, and that's just it. And that's how we as coaches have got to tackle that and teach them about the spaces, about the positions, sticking to your positions. Don't go and take the ball off of somebody on the left wing if you're playing on the right wing. But at that age, it just doesn't sink in.
No, it doesn't
that much, and you can't blame the kids for that. They're just little kids wanting to play football. They see a ball and they go, I'm having that. And that's it. You've got 6 players all doing the same thing. I just don't understand the logic behind 3 versus 3 on a tiny little pitch. I don't get it.
And I think it puts pressure onto the clubs as well. As a grassroots club, we try and get funds in and we try and raise money. Obviously, we've got the sub money that comes in from the parents, but every single penny that comes into our club is accounted for, and we try and stretch it as much as possible to give back to the kids. Yeah. And I think we was in a meeting with one of our leagues the other day, and they were saying it costs like £200-300 for these goals, these three-a-side goals.
Yeah.
Which is a massive. It may not seem a lot of money, but for us as a club, when we're trying to keep it afloat, it's a massive amount of money. Yeah. And it's just more pressure. It don't need to be when they can go and get the pop-up goals from Forza, and it costs £150 and it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's don't make any sense.
And like you say, it's a massive pressure on grassroots clubs to then take on more volunteers. Yeah, because you need extra coaches. So I think the idea, if I'm getting this right, the idea is that you have 6 players to a team. Yeah, you then split that team down the middle, so you have a 3 and a 3. One coach will play on one half with 3 kids against the opposition, and then the other coach will take the other 3 players and they'll play against the opposition on the other half of that 5-a-side pitch. And then at half time or whatever, you will swap, like the home team or the away team will swap. So then those 3 players will play the other 3 players from the opposition team with no goalkeepers,
with no scoreline kept either.
Yeah.
So even if 3 lads or 3 girls win by 20 goals to 0, it's not put down on paper, and they will continue to hammer and demolish teams all the way through.